Going out to Jupiter, you're seeing this plasma torus show up. All the particles are getting bigger. There's more and more of them. You look at the moon Io, it's the same thing. Ionosphere is 1,000% higher. The surface has gotten 200% hotter, 3 times hotter than Mercury. How did that happen? Surprised? Well, yeah, we can't explain it. Okay. Europa is much brighter than expected. This is what they thought it would look like based on what it used to look like, and this is what they actually got. Look at all that light. Ganymede, same thing, 200% brighter. 1,000% increase in its density of its atmosphere. Saturn's plasma torus, 1,000% denser, same thing, short period of time, basically 12 years. Aurora are being seen in the polar regions of Saturn. Here's another new thing, that's heat that wasn't there before. Massive X-rays were seen for the first time near the equator of Saturn in 2004. Uranus was featureless as a cue ball in 1986, but look at what happens to it by 99. Dr. Eric Karkoschka finally has some of the childlike enthusiasm we really should see. These are really big, big changes, man. Check it out, it's incredible. It's been hit by huge storms, dude. So he's finally got it right. Seasonal brightness change is not well understood. Moving on. That's the official NASA report. Uranus 2004 is even brighter. Now I'm going to superimpose the original over what you got here. Look at how much this is changing. All that stuff is new. That's all this bright stuff that wasn't there before. Well, guess what happens when you go out to Neptune? Exactly the same thing. This is what it looked like in 1989. This is what it looks like in 1996. 0 degrees, quarter rotation, half rotation, three-quarter rotation. Dum, 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 dum. Now we go up to 1998, you see that there's more brightness coming in, but look at what happens in 2002. It's gone 40% brighter in near-infrared, which is just above visible light. If you could see this spectrum, this is what it would look like. To the naked eye, it's not changing that much, but this is only barely above what our eyes can see as visible light. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like as it goes from 89 to 2002. Watch. Watch the bottom. Look at how much it's changing. Do you think this is just a random thing that's being caused by the tilt of the equator of the planet relative to the sun? No. This is a planet-wide, solar system-wide effect. Global warming on Pluto, 300% increase in its atmospheric pressure from 89 to 2002. It's moving away from the sun, but the surface of the planet is getting hotter as it moves away from the sun, which is causing the atmosphere to charge up. So this shows us that Earth changes are not unique to the Earth. They're happening all over the place. Now, Bill and Carrie, I see you guys over there. How much time do we have? What are we on here? Okay. Well, there's all sorts of different places we can stop and start in this presentation. And I wanted to get you guys sort of like when I do these longer weekends at my conferences, like I'm having one in London next month. When I do these longer weekends, we can actually drill into this data a lot more, and there's a lot more data than I actually have had time to go into here, but that's why I make these presentations modular. But what you're seeing here is, if you look through, I'm going to summarize some of this stuff and zip a little faster so we can get to the punchline. You're seeing continuous rises in earth change activity. Let me do it from this side. Earthquakes, volcanic activities going up, sea levels going up, temperatures going up. Thank you for letting me know that it's updated my database. That's very rude of you. Perito, gosh. Tornadoes are going up. Disasters, natural disasters, economic loss on Earth, all this stuff. The entire Pacific Ocean seafloor is heating up, which is obviously what happens when the sun warms up water on the surface of the ocean. And then those warm water particles are sinking down to the bottom, where they warm up the bottom of the ocean. That's what the scientists are actually saying is going on. So, of course, the next time you want to boil water to boil some eggs, you just get a hairdryer and it'll work just fine, I promise. That's how they've explained this, because they can't tell you that the Earth is heating up from the inside. That's all it is. The planets are heating up from the inside. Why are they heating up from the inside? Galactic energy fields. What are the galactic energy fields going to do? Change your DNA. So let's get to that. I'm going to have to go through some stuff here. All right. We're going to do, okay, we'll get to this because this is good. Bacteria. If you look in the Antarctic ice, in the interior of a volcano, even inside a nuclear reactor, you find little critters. They're everywhere. They even survive in space. They've been recovered after being frozen for 10 million years. It's as if some sort of life force takes that existing body that was there, and you thaw it out, and it says, oh, okay, that's a body. Whoosh, I'm going to make it alive. So there's something going on here, something more than we usually think of life as being. Some bacteria thrive on infrared light. They photosynthesize in near darkness, and they've been found miles below the surface of the ocean floor. It is ridiculous to think that all these critters grew from living bacteria, from other living bacteria. It becomes much more plausible that those little bacteria that grew inside the nuclear reactor didn't come from other bacteria that grow inside nuclear reactors, that are just sort of floating around saying, let me find a nuclear reactor. Oh, look, there's one. No. Those nuclear reactors are hermetically sealed for a reason, but they're not sealed from the source field. They're not sealed from this energy that goes in there and says, oh, here's a place where I can make life. This is like what happens in a star. Let me go ahead and jump in there and start creating life. So they call this a problem, but it's actually a proof. It's a proof that life is everywhere in the universe. Dr. Chandra Wickrama Singh, say that 3 times fast, and try to spell it while you're pronouncing it. I've had to practice that, I might add. Has proven that the organic material in comets is biological. It has critters in it. There's billions of comets in the solar system alone, and he believes that all life on Earth may have come here from a comet. And this is Dr. Francis Crick, the founder of DNA. And what he shows us is that it's way too complex to have evolved by random chance. It's as if the entire Encyclopedia Britannica fell out of the sky, one word at a time, and it all just happened to arrange, like those monkeys on typewriters. That's the kind of logical idiocy that it is involved to try to say that DNA is a Darwinian mutation from random accidents. And this is the guy that co-founded DNA with Dr. Francis Crick. Okay? Or he is Dr. What am I saying? There's Watson and Crick. 99, here's his biggest discovery. Now, this is the same guy that discovered DNA. Why isn't this as popular as his other discovery? He looks at all the dust in the line of sight between where we are on Earth and the center of the galaxy, and all of it looks just like bacteria in its heat signature and its light signature. Exactly the same. It is bacteria. So this is Howard Hughes' worst nightmare. Space is filled with germs. Don't go to space if you're a germaphobe. Even the mainstream media is saying space that creates human life found in another solar system. Well, we know that space has these source field differences. There's a source field energy in space that you don't see here on Earth. It's called the overview effect or space euphoria. Astronauts go out there, they get this massive energetic high from being in space. It's been reported by many of them. The Chinese have taken seeds and flown them into space. And it's important that you do this in a space capsule that doesn't have PVC plastic windows and doesn't have aluminum in the chassis. If you do that, which is what the NASA probes are like, it doesn't work. It won't work. If you have any PVC plastic at any point over the windows, they're not going to do this. And if you have aluminum in the body of the thing, it's not going to work. The Chinese built one that didn't do it that way. And what happens is, they send these seeds out into space, and remember what I said about the Great Pyramid, or the pyramids built by the Russians? They tossed the seeds in, and what happened to the seeds? 400% more productive seeds, 400% bigger plants. Would you like to see the kind of crops that the Chinese were growing when they just flew the seeds into space? Let's go for it. Bang! There's your pumpkin. That's the only thing they've done is grow it hydroponically, and regular hydroponic pumpkins don't do this. This is a space pumpkin. That's the only thing they did is fly it in space. It's the mystery of the great pumpkin from space. Every Halloween, he comes in a UFO.